Whilst we've been focusing on Middle Eastern brands like Lattafa, Maison Alhambra, Paris Corner, and the likes, Riggs London has been doing the Lord's work for people that can only afford 100ml perfumes under 15,000 naira. In today's video, I'll be reviewing 5 long-lasting perfumes from the Riggs London line. These perfumes come in 30ml size for just 5,000 naira with very good performance. The 100ml bottles, like I said, can be gotten for no more than 15,000 naira. Let's begin. Riggs Hero has notes of bergamot, apple, lavender, patchouli, and oak moss, amongst others. In the opening, Hero is giving fresh, powdery green aromatic citrus, apple, and jasmine. The greenness smelled like avocado green and reminds me of Najim Al-Khalij by my Perfumes, which I reviewed recently. When you factor in the super prominent apple and jasmine accord in here, you're getting something that smells like a fusion of Lady Lazoud by Fragrance World and Najim Al-Khalij. Lady Lazoud is allegedly a dupe for Lady Gaga's fame, and nope, this vibe doesn't make Hero smell feminine, at least on my skin. Now, when you spray this into the air, it leans feminine in the opening for some minutes before turning back to masculine. 1 hour later, this smells like a blend of powdery aromatic citrus, creamy green woody jasmine, and amber, with a delicate fume of musk over everything. Hero is basically a blend of lavender and jasmine done in a, should I say, masculine way. The fire dry down at 12 hours is a creamy, sweet, herbal, earthy, musky patchouli. This wasn't an instant like for me, but it eventually grew on me. Riggs Dynamo opens with a creamy burst of citrus, musk, and vetiver, which instantly reminds me of the Terre de Hermes DNA, but the sweet coconuts following close behind immediately switches up the scent profile. 10 minutes in, this settles into a creamy, sweet, somewhat green and aromatic fusion of musk, patchouli, coconut, and vetiver. 1 hour in, this turns a bit spicy and instantly reminds me of Lattafa's Nashit, which is said to be a dupe for Nishane's Annie. The patchouli in here is earthy and dusty, just like you'd get from Zimaya's Red Carpet Paragon, a dupe for Perfumes de Mali's Cullinan. In the far dry down, Dynamo smelled like creamy, musky, woody, earthy patchouli. Performance for Dynamo is similar to what I get from Hero. The projection isn't loud, but it lasts over 12 hours easily on my skin. Dynamo to my nose comes across like a fresh shower gel version of Lattafa's Nashit, and I have to say that I prefer this to Nashit because I long decluttered my bottle of Nashit. There's something that Nashit does that just doesn't vibe with me, basically, so I decluttered it. Anyway, Riggs Dynamo, in my personal opinion, is better than Lattafa's Nashit. Riggs Patrol was an instant love for me on first testing, as it was giving masculine, affordable luxury energy. The closest thing Patrol reminded me of was my bottle of Blue Royale by my Perfume, which I absolutely love. 3 weeks later, when I finally sat down to properly test it, I could better appreciate other facets of the perfume. Riggs Patrol opens dark, sweet, woody, and spicy with cotton candy, caramelized sugar, saffron, pineapple, and powdery blue amber. Patrol is given supremacy not only intense by Afnan, mixed with a touch of Baccarat Rouge 540. Mint creeps in after like 3 minutes thereabout and further elevates the perfume. Patrol is somewhat of a linear scent, with the pineapple fading on my skin after 1 hour. The far dry down is sweet musk, saffron, earthy patchouli, and powdered sugar. Performance for Patrol is really good, especially on tissue paper, as it projects up to 2 feet for 24 hours. On skin, I get about 3 hours of solid projection and whiffs in the 12th hour. I was so enchanted by this perfume that I almost went back to buy the 100ml bottle, the common sense kit. I have way too many perfumes in my collection to be adding this to my collection. This 30ml bottle will do for now. Whatever you do, if you walk into shops like Jendol or Just Right, try and sample this from their perfume counter. This is so freaking good. Of these 5 I'm reviewing today, this is the best for me. Riggs Rider was not a love at first sniff because it was really loud and harsh around the edges, though it smelled nostalgic and reminded me of my youth. It was giving fresh, zesty cedarwood infused shower gel, but making super intense and harsh. 3 weeks later, that harshness mellowed down a bit and I was able to finally enjoy the perfume. In the opening, Rick's Rider is clean, bright, and fresh with mildly sweet, effervescent powdery florals, zesty citrus, and a creamy shampooey undertone. After like 4 hours thereabouts, I smell a distinct sugary saffron accord blending in with the woods and the effervescent fresh florals. The far dry down at 12 hours is a mix of powdered sugar, creamy woods, and musk. Rider is giving beast mode energy, and I got up to 5 hours of projection on my last testing. About 4 weeks after I wrote the script for this video, I was decluttering some perfume oils in my collection, and I stumbled on one that I hadn't worn in a really long time. Based on my experience with that perfume oil, I would say Rider is inspired by this perfume by E.C. Miyake, but do not quote me on that, as these perfume oils can sometimes be off. My first impression of Rick's Icon was, this is the perfect soapy scent for men. Like, let's say you need to go to the gym or run some quick errands and you haven't showered yet. This is perfect for rub and shine. When I sniffed this through the nozzle, it smelled like soapy, milky white florals with a touch of citrus, but when it hits my skin, it smells quite different. Rick's Icon on my skin smells fresh, clean, aromatic, and soapy with bergamot, spicy herbs, and powdery musk. It also has like this thin mentholated veil over it, but I picked that after like 20 minutes of spraying it. 2 to 3 hours later, Rick's Icon starts to smell more woody and herbal than soapy fresh. If Arabiat's Intense Musk is giving Lux Beauty Queen energy, Rick's Icon is giving Lux Beauty King energy. I went to withdraw money from Imperial some days back, and the store had the 30 ml EDP, so I picked it up for that same price of 5,000 naira. What you get in the body spray is exactly what you get in the EDP, just in case you're wondering. This perfume lasted over 10 hours on my skin and was actually quite good to wear. Like I said before, Rick's Icon is one you want to keep around when you don't want to smell fancy, you just want to smell clean and fresh. If I were to rank these 5 perfumes, I would say Rick's Patrol for special occasions, Rick's Icon for gym and errands, and the other 3 can cover any occasion. In my next video, I'll be discussing a few perfumes from the Rick's Prestige line, so do please stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back. In my last video, I touched on 5 budget perfumes from the brand Rick's London. And in today's video, I'll be reviewing another 4 from their Rick's Prestige line. A big shout out to Adesi for sending me these samples. Thank you so much. Let's begin. Rick's Cullinan has a sweet, fresh, spicy citrus and cinnamon opening that reminds me of Afnan's 9 p.m, but this is super heavy on the cinnamon. It turns minty mentholated in a few minutes and instantly reminds me of a blend of Afnan's 9 p.m. and French Avenue's Liquid Brune, but less intense in the sweetness department. After about 30 minutes thereabouts, Cullinan smelled like a sweet, warm, spicy cinnamon baked pie. 2 hours in, if you sniff your skin really good, you will clock lavender and vanilla accords, blending in such a way that it will remind you of Lattafa's and Ham. With regards to performance, there might be some nose blindness factor to this perfume because after the 4th hour, it smells super faint, but 12 hours later in the early morning, I can easily detect this on my skin. The far dry down smelled like creamy woody herbal patchouli with a hint of amber. If just like me, you find 9 p.m. to be sickeningly sweet to the point of being nauseating, do please check out Rick's London Cullinan for a less sweet but cinnamon heavy experience. Rick's Aristo is a leather perfume for people like me who don't really fancy leather perfumes. It opens with a burst of sweet, fresh, spicy leather, citrus, and something that smells like hay. Within 10 minutes, it turns into a warm, spicy, sugary, sweet vanilla and amber bump with a minty, mentholated, leathery undertone. It literally smells like a sweet bakery at this point. If you've sampled Arabiat's blueberry musk, you should understand what I'm talking about. Also, Rick's Aristo at this point smells like as if they took the Rick's Patrol DNA and added a husky herbal leather accord to it to make it more masculine. But either way, it still smelled like something any sex can easily pull off all year round in every scenario possible. 2 hours later, that leather accord completely vanishes as the perfume settles into a sugary, amber vanilla and citrus scent with a smoky, somewhat camphorous Middle Eastern vibe to it. It reminded me of when our security guard used to burn dried up orange peels to repel mosquitoes. Rick's Aristo lasts an easy 12 hours on my skin with up to 4 hours of projection. If you love sweet perfumes and you don't mind a touch of leather to it, get this. Riggs Novus is a fresh, airy, citrusy, aromatic floral with something that smelled like vodka. It smells super familiar in the opening, but I just can't put my hands on it. 10 minutes in, it starts to turn into a warm, spicy baked goods on my skin, like a syrupy, spicy amber vanilla combo with an aromatic floral touch over it. The only thing that comes to mind yet again is Arabia's blueberry musk, but I pulled out that perfume immediately and it's not that perfume, as the sweetness of the spicy amber vanilla combo in blueberry musk is insane compared to Novus. Also, blueberry musk is lacking the freshness of Novus. Riggs Novus smells like vanilla and amber blended with fresh accords to make them easily bearable for hot summers, if that makes any sense. When I checked out Adese's review for Riggs Novus, which I will link down below, she said Novus is giving Dior Homme Intense. I have long decluttered my Dior Homme Intense inspired perfume oil, so I pulled out this deodorant inspired by the same perfume, and I didn't see the similarities at all. The Dior Homme Intense DNA has always been feminine, powdery, musky florals with some gourmandish nuances that remind me of the Tom Ford Tobacco Vanille DNA. Anyway, I did this comparison around the, I think, 4th to 5th hour mark into the dry down of Riggs Novus. I woke up the next day with Adese's review still in my head, as she seems to be a big fan of the Dior Homme Intense DNA, so I went ahead to retest Riggs Novus. You know how I said this perfume smells super familiar in the opening? Yeah, this is definitely the Dior Homme Intense DNA, but they've added some fresh, airy, aromatic and herbal accords over it. As someone who is not a fan of the Dior Homme Intense DNA, I prefer this twist over Dior Homme Intense. Riggs Novus lasts an easy 12 hours on my skin with up to 2 hours of projection. Sadly, I do not like the dry down of this perfume, as it smells like musky tobacco leaf mixed with patchouli. Riggs Imperial is a familiar blend of sweet, warm, spicy cinnamon, praline, and amber gourmand scents with a heavy metallic twist in the opening, which eventually fades away. Riggs Imperial is here to let everyone know that the perfume industry isn't done yet with the whole Angel Share Alhambra DNA. I think I need to give cinnamon-based perfumes a break before I develop a lasting distaste for them. Riggs Imperial is for people who haven't sampled the Angel Share Alhambra DNA. If you sample that DNA through my nose, that is literally what Riggs Imperial is giving. Riggs Imperial lasts well over 12 hours on my skin with 2 to 3 hours of soft projection. And that has been my review for Riggs Cullinan, Riggs Aristo, Imperial, and Riggs Novus. In another video, I will dive into some Riggs body sprays I hauled some weeks back. Don't forget to please like, share, subscribe if you found this video helpful, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.